last video I was talking about wanting to make the front end work. I probably have cut it all out, honestly. I had a plan to use a single round front, which you can see it's kind of setting on the car. And I bought a single round core support. Turns out it wasn't a single round core support, so then I just had to start making everything from scratch. So everything I've been making out of like 1/4 inch rod and 3/8 rod. I've just been trying my best to make everything work, have as much clearance as possible, but it's taking me a long time. And I also, like, allergy season's been crazy, so last week I was like, screw it, I'm just not filming because it was just terrible. As you can see right now, I am going through. I did make this little radiator support. It just remember, this is a Civic rad, so I just have rubber isolating on the bottom with these metal tabs welded to some 3/8 rod, come up to a bolt hole right there. That's not going anywhere. It's good, it's gonna hold. And then up here, it's just a combination of hoses. You guys know that I just hoard everything, so I'm gonna have a tough time if one of these hoses break, because I gotta then remember what they all go to. So pretty sure this is a 12 valve Mark III lower rad hose. Pretty sure this is the 3/6 upper rad hose, and then this is a 1.25 inch, and then I just bead rolled it on both ends. And then I've been messing with the upper rad hose stuff, so I haven't really been filming because it's just been like every 5 seconds you're cutting something, welding something, and I'm just winging it. With the car on the ground, you can kind of see my idea. I just put tabs where the usual rad support would go, and then just started bending metal. You can see I already put like quick latches on. That's another thing I didn't film. So I have the sink drain ones. This is the 3/6 upper hose, I think, and it goes to this little connection. And then this, I believe, is a 1.8 T upper rad hose from a Mark IV. 1/4 inch rod goes all the way across, and I just have another little tab up there just to hold the rad in place. And then if you ever got to take the rad out, you just unbolt the rad support, pull it out, you're good to go. After that is all said and done, I'm going to finish doing headlight mounting tabs, and then I'll probably pull the intake manifold, and then honestly it'll probably be time to wire the car. My cams did come in, but I've already put the motor together, so I'm trying to just do what I can do right now. And then right before fire up, I'm gonna go grab the cams from Paul, throw them in. We'll do an install video on those. A couple other things I wanted to show you guys is how I'm gonna attach the bumper, because as you can see, there is a rebar delete. I've been thinking about trying to add something, but I don't really need it. The front cross member is basically a rad support. It's keeping the frame rails together, so don't need it. As long as I drive safe, I should be fine. How I'm gonna hold the bumper on is I'm gonna have OEM bumper guides. This is a Mark III one, so it doesn't fit right. I ordered big bumper Mark II ones. They're just on the way. You can see here are the front turn signals, and they still have the latch here, still have the screw here, and still I can have a signal in there because I do plan to drive this on the street. So as this is in the bumper, screwed in place, I'm just gonna push the bumper in, and then it's gonna go right here. Obviously this is the wrong side, but it's gonna go right into there, be on, and then when I want to take the bumper back off, 2 clicks, comes right back off. So that's gonna be pretty sweet. I'll show you guys that hopefully at the end of the video. Another really important thing, you guys probably saw, there should have been a little video on it, but I did get the rear end together on this. After seeing it like this, man, like, I almost want to just leave it as a old shitty rat rod race car. I think it looks awesome like this. I got a really nice trunk, and this is also a late big bumper trunk because it has all the plastics. My other trunk was just metal, so have all the plastics here. I was also able to refinish the OEM lights. I just did all red paint. There will be a little small video on that, but the rear end looks great. I rekeyed it. Pop works, tag lights will work. So I'm getting really excited for this thing. If this is its own video, it's just gonna be like a quick walk around showing you the progress on the stuff. Try to finish up this rad support and all this stuff and pressure testing, and then I'll be back with you guys. I just put a torch on this and then pressed it. You can see this is all like heat molded in. So now this just snaps into place. So that's how that's going to be. I do have a 5-inch to 4-inch silicone coupler for that I cut down. So all that's good. And I did start painted the core support I made. There's this. I dropped it about 18 times. So I got the Fuel Tech harnesses out. I've printed a bunch of paper of different kind of cars that are set up to kind of see where their diagrams go compared to mine. And then with this, since it's a flying lead harness, so these are 2 harnesses. You see they're going through. I have an OEM grommet in there. So I have that going through, coming out, and I have it extra long. You can see I have the Fuel Tech right here, but I'm probably going to move it. And if I move it, it's going to be closer to the steering wheel, so I'll have plenty of room for that. I'm going through. I added so much slack into here, which you should do, because every time you make a harness, if you make it pretty close or a little extra, it always seems tight when you go to tape it and all that. So I gave myself a ton of room. Hopefully I'll have no issues like that. And it's going to kind of run factory. It's going to run down the frame rail like this. It'll probably branch off down here, and then I have the 3/6 bracket. I just cut it and like made a new hole so it still goes onto the starter. This bracket holds the alternator wire. And since I'm doing a flying lead harness, I have 2 of these harnesses. I just decided I'll just cut the wires. That's the easiest way to do it. So I would plug it on, make sure the plug fits, cut it off. I have brand new pins and terminals, all that over there. So everything's just, hopefully there's no real butt connectors. There's always going to be some, but not a lot. But I am only running the intake cam sensor and the intake cam VVT. The exhaust cam's just gonna not have anything plugged onto these, and it's gonna be just locked theoretically, because the only way it moves is under oil pressure, and that's when you activate the VVT. So that's that. And then down here, I don't have a coolant temp sensor plug because I think a 3/6 uses a 2-wire one, and I bought a brand new 4-wire. So when I go to work, I'll just cut this off of one of the harnesses there. That'll be no problem. And then back here, I have an older Mark III rectangle style speed sensor, because I do plan to run speed sensor for the trans and for the rear wheel speed sensor. That way I can use traction control, launch control, all that kind of stuff, base other things off of wheel speed. I have it, you know, the harness kind of snaked how it will run OEM. So up here will be all the coils. I am just gonna run R8 coils. I was thinking about it. I have a ton of the 24 valve ones. So this is like R32, 3/6, these are stock ones. But get to thinking about it, these are about 30 bucks a piece. R8 ones are about 20 bucks a piece. And from what I've seen and used, these last a lot longer than those. I mean, on R8s and stuff like that, they're making gobs of horsepower with no issues. So I'm just gonna use these, and also they look a little better. Where if you're doing like a 12 valve VR6, these don't really fit well. The 24 valve ones fit a lot better. And then I was also thinking, I tow it to the track with my Q5, which is a 2-liter. So I always have extra coil packs in the trunk for that. So I'll always have extra coil packs for this. You know what I mean? They're always in the car, so I'll always have some extra ones. And then I have all the injector wiring laid out. I have the drive-by-wire stuff laid out. I'm still thinking about drive-by-wire. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna just use it. A lure to drive-by-wire is that you just turn the key and it's instant, because the motor's gonna sit there and regulate it. There's a bunch of ground wires that I have kind of laid over here. A lot of them need to go directly to battery. Some need to go to battery and engine. So I'm just weeding out this stuff. So this just hanging out over here. This is all the wires that need to go inside the car. So this will be like TPS on the pedal side, because remember it's electronic, switched ignition. All this has to go back inside the car. So I gotta weed it all out of here and pull it through the car. So that's gonna take some time. And then I have a bunch of extra outputs that I'm not using. Outputs are just what they sound like. It sends power or sends a negative trigger to turn something on. So like if you had a boost controller, electronic wastegate, all that stuff, that's what this stuff would control. I'm not going to show you guys how all this is because I'm just figuring it out as I go. I'll get back to you guys when I'm close to testing it, firing it up and making the base map, because this is so custom that you guys don't need it. You can find your own stuff online about it. Don't ask me about it because obviously this was a direct injection car and it's not direct injection. It's a 100% race car, so yeah, don't ask me to make you a stock file or tell you how to wire your 3.6 on Fuel Tech. All right, so I'll this is probably the end of the video, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully we'll be getting close, and hopefully I'll be able to see you guys at some races.